I'm here in Washington with Randall Grahm, President for Life of Bonny Doon Vineyards, who has just published his new book, Been Doon So Long. So Dooniacs who have enjoyed his newsletter over the years can rejoice that we now have a compendium of his writings. Randall, welcome to Washington. Thank you for coming.
Thanks so much.
Tell us about the book.
Well, this is actually a collection of Dooniana over the last 25 or so years. Random or Randall thoughts, poems, reflections, memories, dreams, reflections, and a lot of satire, a little bit of literary satire, shtick, there's definitely some shtick, and some earnest essays as well.
Something for wine lovers to learn about in here?
I don't think so.
I
mean, I think people, most wine lovers think they know it all. No, I think this is for people who like writing, who like language, and who like wine. I think there's some funny intersection of these two populations. It's probably 4 people, but there is some intersection.
Well, I think there might be more than 4 at least. I'm sure your publisher is counting on that. Let's talk a little bit about where you're going with the winery now. You've recently gone into biodynamics the last few years. How is that going?
Actually quite well. The idea is, in my humble estimation, there's far too much wine in the world, way too much, and much of it is really kind of indistinguishable from the rest of it. I think if you're serious about wine, you want to make wine that has a distinctiveness, a uniqueness. Ultimately, I would argue the most unique wines derive from unique terroir, where you've been able to somehow capture a sense of the place. That's what I aspire to. I'm not there, maybe I'll never get there, but that's where I'd like to be.
You've also been in the news fairly recently for championing truth in advertising and ingredient labeling on wine. Tell us a little bit about that. Why do you favor that?
Well, I favor it for a number of reasons. Some of it is self-serving, some of it is a way of proclaiming my own virtue, but I think in general it's really healthy for consumers to have knowledge about what they're consuming. And I think it's also an interesting dialogue. People should be asking questions. Why do you put this in the wine? Why is this in there? And is there a lot of sulfur? Is there a little bit of sulfur? And how do I feel when I drink wines that have X ingredient in them? I think it makes us better winemakers. If we have to declare everything that touches the wine, I think we have to think twice about what we put in our wines. I think that's generally a good thing.
So when you say everything that touches the wine, you don't mean necessarily what's in the bottle, but everything that's used in the process of making the wine.
Everything that's used in the processing, whether it's yeast food or tartaric acid or oak chips, anything that touches the wine, I'd like to indicate on the label itself.
Okay. Well, we might get there someday, and there's something to be said for truth in advertising. Anyway, Randall Grahm, thank you very much for coming to Washington. And look forward to reading the book, Been Doon So Long, in bookstores now and on Amazon.com.
In about a week or 2.
Okay.